Now, if she's working, though, in the hazardous job, right, that's the problem, too. Legally, right, if she's 15, right, that job is off limits to her cause of the nature of it, right? One, she would have to stay on the premises all day, right? That's illegal, right? She can't even do that, right? And that's the only thing I would need, right? Okay, if you bring her to the job and she's 15, you're not going to want her to leave, right? Well, that's one of the prohibitions, right, of a 15-year-old working any job. She must be able to leave the job site itself, right? You can't keep her on the premises the whole time she's working, right? If she works from 10 to 6, how many hours is that? 8, 8. With no lunch, or if she eats lunch with the women, right? She never left the property. That's illegal, right? Part of it too, right? Do you understand? She's got to be able to leave the property, right? That you're leasing, right? If she can't leave the property and she's 15, you know she's too young to work, right? Enough said, right? Now, I never said I left the property with her. I said I should be able to, right? So I'm messing with you about that part. I didn't kidnap her or anything, but she should be able to walk down to the restaurant with me and back, right? If not 15, or if 15, right? So you can't confine her to the workspace only, right? Because she's 15, right? And you know she's 15. I am a new customer to that store. I don't know her age. I got to ask her those top questions. And because you're harassing me before I met her, and I asked her those questions, right? All right, she can make excuses, take me to the office, and trick me in the office into the sex where there's no proof of the sex, too, right? Right. Because once we're somewhere where there's no cameras or no way to, right, again, there's no more proof of what happened either between me and her, right? It's then he said, she said, right? Well, she can make excuses why she didn't have the ID or the proof on the premises, right? Including that her dad had it at home, right? You know, and I have no way to prove or disprove that same day. And I'm not showing my butt, right, or being a jerk about it, right? I'm just trying to make sure she's of age for her own safety, right? Too, not just mine, right? Right. So if she can't leave the premises, right, that automatically is a red flag, right? Right. That something could be wrong, right? Now, who's going to get in trouble? The man hiring her, right? Not me, not me. See, it's not his right to hire his own daughter to do that job yet. He still has to wait legally till she's 16, right? Now, in Georgia, 16-year-olds can consent to sex with an adult over 18, right? That's what you're trying to shy around, right? Plus, if she's 14 or 15 and don't have proof or ID on her and seduces me in the office, what about that, right? Well, again, I'm alone with her and I'm trying not to hurt her, right? See, she don't have the right to take advantage of me as a 50-year-old man because she's doing a job she's not supposed to do yet, but lying about her age, right? She also, like I said, and stuck to that she was 37, not 14. 37 don't sound the same age, right? 15, 37. Two different sounding words, right? You can't say I thought she was 37 or not either. There's no proof. Okay, and if she's working with the women and she came from New Jersey, she could either have a New Jersey ID or a Georgia ID, but she also could have left it at home. See, I don't have to have proof the day of when I'm visiting her for the first time, right? It also means if I'm letting her off the hook, right, and she seduces me with sex, the age I heard was at 14 or 15, but 37, right? I have no proof, yes, that she's 15 or 37 or 14, right? If I have sex with her then, right? But there again, she would have to also be the aggressor because she knew she was really 15, right? Though I would tell her, yes, you can have sex with the 15-year-old, but it's illegal to if you're 15. You can't even have sex with me because I'm 50, right? You're working a job that's illegal for you to work right now because of your circumstances, right? See, if I'm telling her that and she has sex with me anyway, she's seducing me to get out of trouble, right? That's where she shouldn't have even been there, right? If she hadn't have been there, I would have just went in there, got my nails done, and seen one of the two movies, Dark Fate or, Harriet in time, right? Whichever one, when I got to the theater, I decided to see, right? Both were starting around 3 p.m. anyway, right? I'm not the one in the wrong, right? The person letting her work, that's the least E, right? But the employer of the girl, he's more accountable because he's not supposed to work her that way, right? And I'm the customer just going into the store to get my nails done, right? Do you understand, right? He can't even hire a 15-year-old for a nail tech job yet without the special permission, right? And it's got to be on the premises, right? Hence, her taking me to the office to see if it was on the premises, right? 15 or 37, right? You understand, right? She either needs an ID to show she's 15 or 37, right? Which is either a New Jersey driver's license or a Georgia driver's license, right? She should have one or the other. Now, she don't have to have proof she went to college either, right? On the premises, right? Even though she said that too, right? And graduated, right? But I asked her 4 questions having to do with her personally, right? One was her name, Michelle, age 37. Did she graduate college? Where was she from? And she said New Jersey, right? Not Vietnam. And, her parentage could be they were from Vietnam but went to New Jersey, right? Or her mom could be from New Jersey, right? And her dad from Georgia. I don't know no details, right? I just met her that first day, right? That's also when I reported losing the time. Because I had to see a different movie, right? Which was Arctic Dogs, which started at 4:30 instead of 3 or 3:10, right? And that's why I know something more happened with her, and you were already on about me meeting someone underage anyway, right? So I'm asking her if it was her, but I still have no proof, right? On the premises, see. And if she takes me to the office as if she had proof, and she had no proof and seduced me in the office, right? She knows what she's doing then, right? Is to seduce me because she didn't ever have proof, right? And once it's established she's in a hazardous job, her employer is responsible, not me, right? It's the legality of the job she's doing, right? That's why he shouldn't have worked her there at 15, right? Not me, the customer, for the first time going into the store because I'm 50 years old and more accountable than him and her. 2 wrongs, hers and his, in letting her work that day, right? is the problem, right? I did nothing wrong, right? Even if she didn't have the ID on her, right? She can give me an excuse like she left it at the house or the apartment, right? And I don't have to have proof, if she said 37 as well. The job requires her to be over 16. Well, 37 is way over 16 by 21 years, right? I mean, come on, right. You're not talking a minor law, you're talking a major law, right? Exactly. And I have no way to verify her age. Like I told you about Christina Ricci. If she walked up to my house, right, hypothetically, and she came and sat with me and went on her way, right, you can't say she's a child or an adult herself if she were to, hypothetically, right? But you also can't black me out if she did either, because, again, right, I don't have to card her if she does that, right? She's a grown ass woman either way, right? But, hypothetically speaking, right, if she drove here or took a cab here, right, and is over 16 or not, right, I'm not the one who's required to make her prove it, right. Because I'm a Georgia resident in my home and she's a guest, right, to me, right. And if she got to me, she's got to be old enough, right, older than 16, right. Now, I will also ask her at the door, of course, her age, who is it, right, because I don't know, right, if she would do that or not. In reality now, we're talking hypothetically, right? And that's what I'm telling him, too, about hypothetically, if a 15-year-old girl was to do this, she would be breaking the law. Not me as a customer in her store for the first time, right? See, she's the one acting like she's too young to do the job and instead seduced me, right? Sexually. She's corrupting herself to get out of getting in trouble for working at the store at 15, right? I'm not corrupting her by sleeping with her. Even if a police officer was to do the same thing, right? Thinking she was really 37, right? He's not trying to get her in trouble. She's seducing him with sex in the office, right? And she didn't say 14 or 15. Even that's obviously illegal. Even to her, right? She can't say she's those two ages, right? And I can't tell just by looking at her real age, right? Especially with Asian women. I keep telling you that too. Now, maybe some, like Michelle Yeoh, I can't tell if she's 60 or not, right? I don't know. But she does look kind of older, right, in a way too, but I can't say, right, her real age either, right? Is 60 or not, right? I don't know. That's what they say she is. Now, does she look 60? Could be. But I don't know if 37, right, if she looks like she did at 60, right? So that's what I mean too, right? So some women can look their age or not. Maybe Asian too. I don't know, right? And if I go to a website and someone's in their 60s and they're saying their picture looks like they're younger than 60, I don't know that either, right? So, again, it also depends on my exposure to Asian women, right? If I'm trying to seduce one or not, right? Now, if she's seducing me, she knows her real age. I still don't, right? I still am trying to let her off the hook, right? If she's 14 or 15 anyway, not her not trying to get me in trouble, right? If she's 14 or 15, right? Even if she didn't have ID on the premises, right? Mm, I might have even offered to take her to the apartment or house, but she don't have to do that either, right? If she's 37, right? If she's 15, I'm not trying to sleep with her at all, right? And that's what I would tell her in the office, right? And I can be with you if you're 37, right? Now, the reason it's against the laws, a 15-year-old can't have sex with a 50-year-old, right? It's not like sex is a barrier itself, right? But yeah, these men make up these rules because they want to protect their daughters more than their sons, though, too. That's the hypocrisy, men, right? You act like the daughters don't want it, too. Right? You're wrong, you're wrong. You're not really protecting them. And that's two-faced, right? That's hypocrisy, right? You don't care if your 15-year-old boy knocks up a 50-year-old woman, huh? Right? Or fucks a 50-year-old woman. But if your daughter gets screwed by a 50-year-old man at 15, that's a problem, huh? Right? That's hypocrisy, too. I know it is. And that's the problem with the rule, too, right? If it was Mary Kay Letourneau sleeping with the 15-year-old boy, right? Which is still illegal, I know, you would just slap her on the wrist, it looks like, and then, yet if it's a 50-year-old man, that's lock him up and throw away the key, right? Right. Not trying to seduce a 15-year-old girl either, right? It's called a double standard for it being a male child or a female child, right? See, sex is sex, right? Both parties have to at least seem somewhat consensual to do it, right? And I would, like I told you, if we're in the office, there could be a chair, and I'll let her be on top just in case. I'm not sure of her age, right? Or we can do it from behind, but still, right? I do foreplay, right? I would lick her and try to make her feel good, right? See, I'm not going to just have sex with her like she's not a human being. I don't need to feel good, period, right? 15 or 37, right? And I'm not trying to trick her. She's the one obviously having to suddenly trick me because I showed up to her store finally, right? If she's the one they're talking about before I got to that store, right? I still don't know it's her before, during, or after the actual encounter. I just know I lost time, right? Around her because, right? She's trying to hide her age from me, right? Not me, her, right, by the way, you know? I'm not trying to seduce her as a 50-year-old man, right, right? I don't think a 15-year-old would even go for me, technically, right? Myself, right, right. But if she's blackmailing me, that's different, right? Or trying to, you know, make sure her and her dad don't get in trouble for working her that day, right? See, that changes the motive of her, right? Not me, not you. I had no motive of going into the store, right? I still didn't know if you meant any store around me, right? And even then, I'm asking the women at the other store. I'm messing with them a little bit too, asking them if they're married, and their ages, and right, right. Not just her, not just her. I know. And that's your problem, right? It's just part of a conversation anyway, especially with Asian women, right? And no one's trying to trick her or entice her or get her in trouble, even if she is 15. I would tell her that, dude, I don't mind if you do the job, but you gotta tell me the truth, right? Right? Even if we're in the office by then, right? And she don't have the ID, right? That's what I would tell her next. I just can't have sex with you if you're 15. No, you can have sex at 15, right? That's why it's a crime, right? And I would try to explain the legality of it, right? Right? And why we can do it, but not supposed to do it, what all that means too. But that so she don't do it if she's really 15. And I'd also say I don't mind if you just do my nails, but I lost an hour, right? So I think it also went to her seducing me, right, in the office, right, without the ID, though, either, or the proof she had the certificate to work, right? And, and maybe I tried to show her then online. I don't know, right? If I have my phone, I can show her online too, where she's not supposed to do this job, right? But then again, right, we're discussing the legalities of it. If she actually had sex with me during that time and an hour's long enough to do all this, right, and say everything, I'm telling her age matters in that job, right? But I'm not trying to get her in trouble if she's 15 either, right? Right. I'm trying to let her off the hook, right? So if she seduced me with sex during that time, right, and she don't have the ID on the premises, is that my fault or her employer's fault? Her employer's fault. Right, 15 or 37, right? And if she can't get the ID because she is on the premises, right, I could drive her to the apartment if it's close by, or the house, right, whatever it's staying in, right? But again, I don't have to either, and that's kind of considered going overboard, right? If you do all that too, right, right, or not. But the sex can come in simply because she said she's 37, right? Not 15, right? Though I'm telling her I can't have sex with her at 15 either. See, the communication is not to have sex with me for 15, right? Between me and her. But if she's 37, we can have sex, right? Now, the problem is if she don't have the ID on the premises, Georgia or New Jersey, right? ID, which she's supposed to have, but don't have to have, right? And I would also ask her, can she leave the premises to go get the ID or something? Right. Or is she has to stay here till the end of the day, right? Well, if she said she has to stay here till the end of the day, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. She's 37, right? But that makes it illegal if she's 15, right? She's got to be able to leave the property, right? Oh, that's part of the requirement of not doing a hazardous job, right? Is you can leave the site itself, right? If she can't leave the site itself, it's illegal for her to be there, right? Oh, until he gets back, right? If he's gone too, and she brought me to the office, right? He didn't think I was going to show up because I ate somewhere different. I ate at the Mexican restaurant, not the buffet, right? Well, they're not in cahoots with them, right? Then they might be now. I don't know about now, right. Yeah. But then they weren't quite in cahoots yet. Yeah. Same thing with the massage parlor, right? I'm not trying to have sex with the masseuse, right? But if the masseuse does about happy endings and is trying to give me a happy ending, I'm politely trying not to do it with her and faking it, right? And I didn't ejaculate, right? Now, if we had sex, I'm trying to look for a girlfriend, and I told her that too. And I don't mind if you work in a nail salon or a massage parlor, right? I wouldn't judge that, right? Now, Asian girls also work in a massage parlor, and if I was to date one and she was working there, I would want to date you if you're 37, right? Not just have sex with you and leave you and never see you again, right? And I would tell her certain things if she was 15 and certain things if she was 37, too, right? But if you're 15, all you got to do is wait a year, and I didn't wait till you're 18 and go, oh, right. Just to be safe. So neither one of us gets in trouble, right? See, I'm not about sex. I'm just looking for a partner, right? A girlfriend. And I know we can have premarital sex. The Bible says so too. You can show them that too. Yeah. Moses does allow for premarital sex. You just gotta go to the dad and ask his hand in marriage, right? If you have it before you get involved with the father, right? That means if you meet the daughter first, right? Now the woman at the well, I'm sure she's well over 16, right? Or 15 or 18, right? She had 5 husbands, right? Already, who already divorced her because they didn't get her pregnant, I guess, right? Probably also with her at the wrong time, right? And then the sixth being is just her living lover who maybe he's having sex with, maybe not, or if they did do it the first few months or whatever, right? She didn't get pregnant by him either, so she's kind of in limbo, right? But she's still unattached. She's still unengaged or unmarried, even living with the dude, right? So let's say she hooked up with Jesus that night and the night after. And Jesus would be in the player if he knows her stats anyway. You don't know that. People don't normally know your stats. If you're married with 5 husbands and living with the dude, right? Something odd to bring it up to a woman you just met. And yes, that's sexual. It's a sexual. It's one of the things I discuss with all my exes too, my sex life, right? I tell them I've been with 15 women or 16 women or whatever the number was, right? And then Molly was the 17th, right? And if I did something with the nail salon girls who may have lied about her age and was really 15, right? But I'm not trying to trick her into the sex either, right? She's tricking me if she says she's 37, so you see. And I'm still trying to work with her if she's 15, right? If her dad did let her work, that ain't my problem. I wouldn't going to get you in trouble for that. Right? I would tell her that too, right? That's their reason to get you in trouble, right? I just can't have sex with you, though technically we can. Technically we're not supposed to, right? But then it's fully her choice, right? Right. Because she's not supposed to be there in the first place if she's 15, right? And especially if she can't leave the premises without her dad's permission, right? See, that's the illegal part as well. The 15-year-old has to be able to leave the premises, right? At 15. Or she's doing a hazardous job, right? She ain't qualified to do yet, right? Now, another thing I would also say, if you have proof, you need it on the premises, right? That you could do the job, right? If she didn't have it on the premises at the time and told me she was 37, that's all I have to go on, right? Right. What she said, not what, right? She could prove, right? And it's also why I would talk with her in the office to make sure she understood the legalities of what she's doing to on both sides, hers and mine, right? It's also illegal for her to seduce a 50-year-old man and tell him she's 37, right? If she's not 37, right? She can't do that either. I don't know her age. And if she left it at home, that's possible, right? See, then I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt, right? That she's really 37 and not 15. Now, the problem is I don't remember the whole encounter in the office, right? I just know I'm kind of coming to, right? least twice, right? Right. I feel like I'm coming to while she's doing my nails, right? Especially when I'm sitting in the chair, right? Right. Mm-hmm. Now we also could have did it once in the bathroom and then went upstairs. I don't remember all the details. Or right, right. We could have done it in both the bathroom and the office. Yeah, yeah. And I'm just rounding up the time. It could have been 30 minutes twice in the bathroom and 30 minutes twice in the office. I don't know, right? And talking about it, right, right. And then showing her what I would do with her if she was of age, 37, right? Which is the age she said she was, right? With no ID on the premises, right? Right. That's all that means, right? She just didn't have ID on her, right? Well, as the employer, who's responsible for her to have the ID? The employer, right? And if she's 15, he was responsible, right? Not the customer who just came into the store, right? Right. I'm not the one required to have her ID on the premises. He is. He is. Or proof she's old enough to do the job, right? So it's on the father or the dad or the employer, right? Not the employee or the customer to have that proof, right? On the premises, right? If she don't have it and told me she's 37, I have no reason to doubt her either, right? Not fully, not fully. If it went sexual, right? I'm not sleeping with what I think is a 15-year-old girl, but a 37-year-old woman, right? And the mental illness comes into play with that, right? If you're lying to a mentally ill patient and you know he's a mentally ill patient, and I would talk to her about all that too, right? To a point, right? If I met her for the first time too, right? In the fall and all that, right? That Jesus has been with me and all that, right? Right. Mm-hmm. But the sex could be the quickest part, right? Not the right, discussion, right? About the sex, right? Right. Sex don't take long, honey, right? That's like 5-10 minutes, maybe, if you're pushing it, right? And all it takes is once or twice, each time during the encounters, right? If I do you from behind, say in the bathroom, and then you're on top in the office, right? We had sex twice, right? Right? Not 3 times, right? And it don't matter the number of times. If you went sexual and I'm thinking you're 37, that's not legal in that situation, right? But I don't know you're 15, right? If you keep saying you're 37 the whole time, right? Do you understand what you're doing? You're lying about your age and covering your dad, right? For working you in the first place, right? And you know you're not supposed to be doing the job, right? I showed you why you're not supposed to be doing the job, right? And yet you're trying to do my nails anyway, right? You even finished the job and I paid you, right? And lost the hour of time. And you know why more than I do, right? And you know how you blacked me out that caused me the amnesia too, right? See, if you get violent yourself during the sex and the sex was consensual, right? Not talking statutory rape itself, right? Talking you consensually did it like you were 37, right? You were acting like a 37-year-old woman, not a 15-year-old girl who couldn't have sex with me, right? And I'm not raping you, right? You're consenting to the sex like you're grown up, right? And I don't know you're a grown up or not, and you don't have ID on the premises or proof you can even do the job at 15 or 37, right? And then you're seducing me to get out of trouble, right? Not me seducing you. You can't do it either, right? You can't sleep with a new customer who just came into your store either, right? If you're 15 or 37, if you're doing it to distract me from the fact that you're lying about your age, right? And you can sleep with me either way, 15 or 37, right? But one's illegal for you if you know you can't sleep with me either, right? And I'm telling you why you can't do the job as well. It's the sharp objects. It's the nail polish and the nail polish remover, right? Why do women wear the mask while doing people's nails if it's harmless chemical fun, right? It's the chemicals involved, too, that makes it illegal for a 15-year-old to do it. And the sharp objects. Even a nail clipper, right? And the cuticle remover, right, is considered a weapon, right? Or a sharp, pointy object, right? And at 15, you're not supposed to be using that in that particular job, right? Cause us a danger to you, right? By a year. Now, even if you are 16, though, you have to have your GED, right? And be fully certified to do it as well, right? Now, if you're on again, permission, right, to work at 15 or 16, right, you have to have that on the premises, right? Or at your apartment or home, right? You got to have it somewhere close by, right? Now, if you're telling me you have the proof and you can do the job, right, I'm trusting you at your word, right? But then you also know it's illegal for me to be with you, right? Right. And if I have sex with you, I'm taking advantage of you because you don't know my real age. Right, right. It's just as wrong for the minor, like in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, to sleep with the older male. Right. Now, the reason he didn't get in trouble is she didn't say nothing right, about the situation to the police, right? And they don't know unless you show your butt. Right? And the last time I went into the stores when you showed your butt and tried to do something dumb, right? Mm-hmm. And banned me from the store, right? But that's still 3 months after I first went in, right? Around January 12th. Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm just going in the first Saturday anyway, right? Because I have all day clear anyway. Now, the first time Michelle did my nails, the second time, even though there was a woman on the premise, he did my nails, right? And the third time, I just went in there to go to the bathroom real quick because I was coming from Walmart, right? I was having transportation problems, right? I told you that too. I'm not the one changing my story. My story is consistently the same, including her age was 37, not 15, right? Or 14 or anything around that age, right? Well, that's your problem, right? When you take this to trial, the DA has to look at all the evidence of what happened, right? One, the girl's doing a job she can get in trouble for doing, right? In the first place, right? She's working a job that she's considered too young to work, right? And I don't know she is or not. And she's playing like she is old enough, right? So that's seducing the client, not the client seducing her, right? And just as she can have sex with the client at 15 or 37, she had sex with me, which makes it worse for the dad, right? Because then his daughter is seduced because she's working him, because he's working her at 15, right? So they both don't get in trouble. She's seducing me, right? And once she has sex with me, she's breaking the law triply, right? She knows better herself because I'm telling her she's not supposed to do that either. And I would turn to her and just do my nails and she's 15, right? Then nobody gets in trouble, right? Right. Right. So she can't say by the end of it all, she don't know she can't sleep with me at 15 either, right? That's why too. And if she got pregnant, that would be a fluke pregnancy too, but it is possible, depending on when she ovulated, right? But there again, maybe I did get pregnant. No, we just had sex. I don't know, right? But I'm not the one trying to get her in trouble if she's 15 or 37, and one is legal and one ain't, right? And I gotta go by her word of mouth if I just met her that day and she didn't have her ID on her, right? Even, right? So that's, again, her wrong is she didn't have the ID on the premises, right? She couldn't leave the premises to go get the ID, which means that's illegal if she's 15, right? And if she didn't have proof she could do the job, and said that too was at the house or office or apartment, right? That's 3 strikes on her right there, right? If she didn't have proof she could do the job at 15 or 37, right? And she's seducing me into sex, right? She ain't supposed to do that either to a new customer who just came into her store for the first time, right? So she's taking that situation and making it a sex act, right? Knowing she's not supposed to do it either. Even though I'm 50 and I can't verify her age, 37 or 50, right? Oh, right. So that means I'm still not trying to sleep with her if she's 37 or 15, right? But she can't prove it to me if she can't leave the site, right? And I don't have to take her to the apartment or a home, whichever her and her dad live in, right? Either, to prove it either, right? But she should be able to leave the premises too, right? See, there's several ways that's illegal, not just one, right? If she's 15, right? And it's the sharp implement she's using, right? Or would have to use, right? Say a person is using scissors, right? And trying to be a barber shop technician, right? Or work in a barber shop. You still have to have permission at 15 to do the job, right? And you can't do that job at 15, right? Either, right? If you want to be a hairstylist, right? You still are dealing with the sharp object being the scissors, right? Well, the sharp object with the nails is the clippers, right? And the cuticle remover, right? Don't matter. It don't matter, right? And then the chemicals you're using to remove the nail polish or whatever, right? And it also creates the smell, right? Where you wear a mask, right? So those are the 3 reasons you can't do that job at 15 without the special permission, right? And it has to be either on the site or at the house or the apartment. See? And if you can't leave the site, that's one of the requirements that you can't do the job, right? Not you can't, right? If you're stuck on the premises the whole time, from 10 to 6, right? That's illegal. You can't do that job. At 15 or 14 or even 16, right? Yeah, the youngest you can really work in Georgia is 14, not 12, not 13, 14. You lied about that too, right? Now, am I trying to let it go? Yeah, I'm trying to let it go. Right? You're not. You're not letting it go. But I know something happened, right? I know there was something going on there, right? Because it's the only store I lost an hour of time in, right? And you're the only difference between the other Vietnamese women I'm interacting with, right? And I'm not saying the other women did it, just you women could have done it, right? Bye bye.